Hi, I'm Georgia Jones and welcome to my series Bump, a candid, open and honest look at pregnancy, parenthood and beyond. Bump is brought to you by Ladybird Books and Make Time to Play app. So I'm joined today by the lovely Lucy Wolfe. Now Lucy is a sleep consultant, an author of your new book, which is called
The Baby Sleep Solution.
We will talk more about this in a bit. And also a mum of 4. Now we've got Lucy on to talk about sleep, which I don't have much of anymore since having a baby. And didn't have much of in the beginning with Cooper.
Yeah.
He was a bit of a nightmare sleeper. So for those people that don't know what a sleep consultant is, could you just give us a little bit of a lowdown and explain?
So I guess I work with families on a one-to-one basis when they are struggling with their children's sleep.
And you must have some parents that come to you just at their complete wit's end.
Yes, parents come to me probably at one of their most vulnerable times. And however, I think that it's good that there is support out there. So that when you are in difficulties, because it's a big challenge for families, depending on what study you read, somewhere between 40 and 70% of parents will struggle with their children's sleep at some point.
Wow, that much?
Yeah.
Because it's funny, when it's you in it, you feel like you're the only one.
Yeah.
And you feel like everyone else's baby is sleeping wonderfully.
Yeah.
I've certainly felt like that. And it's just you on your own.
And in actual fact, I always try and tell parents, you're the majority, you're not the minority, but it does feel very lonely.
I think nighttime's always lonely, isn't it?
It's that, and I guess the people whose children sleep well tend to talk a lot about it, so they're the voices that you hear.
Yeah.
Whereas then when you don't have a child that sleeps particularly well, you do have that feeling that you've done something wrong, and that maybe you failed in some way, and then as a result of that, that voice is much lower.
So at what point would you say start trying to put them down then?
So I feel there's a couple of key things that you can do in the first few, I suppose, months.
Yeah.
I generally feel that in the first 6 weeks, just spend time getting to know each other.
Yeah.
You know, teach your baby to feel loved, safe and secure, respond to their every need. They learn to trust you and they won't want to do this forever. They genuinely won't. Now, there'll be people watching this that are going, oh my goodness, here I am with repetitive strain injury, still doing it. And that happens too. But again, if you become informed in advance, that for me is so important. That we educate ourselves, we learn about what helps and what hinders sleep. Because the worst thing you can do is make decisions in a crisis mode when you are already really tired and you're in that negative cycle already. So I suppose knowing in advance is probably a little bit better. Sleep challenges come from 2 main areas. And again, I'm talking about, let's say, beyond 6 months of age. The 2 core factors because of sleep problems are to do with, yes, that they are being held to sleep, rocked to sleep, rolled to sleep, fed to sleep. And that can stop your young child cycling through their natural sleep phases.
Right.
So that definitely can make up part of the reasons why parents find their children can't sleep better overnight.
Yeah.
The other part of sleep problems is all to do with what I would describe as being biological timekeeping, which is the time your baby wakes, the time your baby naps, the length of your baby's nap. It's your baby's circadian rhythm for all intents and purposes.
Right.
So again, that's not mature and won't be until your child has gone 4, but it is hugely important from the very beginning. So again, if we take those 2 pieces of information and we try and use them behind the scenes.
Okay.
So there's things that you can do, let's say beyond 6 weeks of age, I might suggest that you always have a wake time no later than 7:30 a.m.
Right, so you always go and get them out of bed.
So even if you've had like a horrible night,
awful, isn't it?
know.
No, but I just want to
But you're going to anchor the day. So again, you anchor it by exposing them to bright and natural light. This can, it shows them this is presses start.
Yeah,
you
so it's
always
like
start the day with a feed. So I would say anchoring the day is one of my big things.
Yeah.
And then the next thing would be learning to read the language of sleep. So the way in the beginning you're really focused on, feeding needs, what a feed cue might be.
Yeah.
But what we really need to learn as well is what a sleeping cue might be.
Right, okay, got this. I wish I knew this when Cooper
right?
was little. Yeah, funny I'd met you earlier. So I was chatting to you briefly about Cooper going to nursery.
Yes.
Quite recently, starting nursery, being around loads of other children, being exhausted from such a busy day. And that's when he started not sleeping very well.
Yes.
And he started having, which I think were night terrors. So he would not be there. His eyes would be open, but he wouldn't seem awake at all.
Yes.
And he would just scream and scream and scream and almost get more upset if we picked him up.
Correct. The most common contributing factor to night terrors is overtiredness.
Overtiredness.
I know. And again, I always feel like I sound like a broken record because I kind of blame everything on overtiredness.
But no, it's interesting though, because like when you say that, I completely get it, because he would come back from nursery, and even though his life had changed a little bit because he was doing so much more, I would still be putting him to bed at exactly the same time.
Yes.
And even though he looked tired and I could see he was exhausted,
Yeah.
I'd be like, no, it's not 7 o'clock yet. It's not
Whereas
time
I'd be
for bed.
saying, well, let's bring bedtime forward and never to be afraid of it. But I'm always looking to close the gap. The less sleep your baby gets, the less they seem to not need. They totally do need it, but the body tends to get on, and they're like, high five, I can do this, I'm really good at not enough sleep. But as soon as we kind of reprogram them and help them sleep better, deeper, longer and more, then their body responds in kind.
Now, this.
Oh yes,
your book,
my lovely book.
The Baby Sleep Solution.
Yes.
So is this basically touching on everything from, you tell me.
Yeah, well I suppose, let's say for me as a private practitioner, I would have really long wait lists, and I just couldn't see all the amount of people that wanted to come and see me. So I just felt that if I could extend my practice into a book format, I suppose I wrote the book that I felt I could have done with when my children were small. And then I support my book with my social media outlets, so there's loads of videos on my Instagram.
And on Instagram you are?
Lucy Wolfe Sleep.
Lucy Wolfe Sleep.
Yeah.
Give her a follow. This is Storytime with Ladybird Books, and today I'm reading 10 Minutes to Bed, Little Unicorn. Twinkle, the naughty unicorn, had glittery feet and a sparkly horn. 10 minutes to bed, her dad would call, but this little unicorn was not tired at all. Unicorns live in a magical land, full of marshmallow clouds and pink sugar sand. 9 minutes to bed, let's try to be quiet, but Twinkle was causing a bit of a riot. Now unicorns don't often cause trouble, but Twinkle always seemed to make double. 8 minutes to bed, her daddy frowned, but Twinkle was dancing and prancing around. Dashing about, chasing pixies and sprites, and fairies that fluttered like tiny bright lights. 7 minutes, said Dad, but she swished her tail, for Twinkle had found a footprint trail. If you want to find out how this story ends, then click on the link below. Sometimes it can seem like toddlers and young children have an unlimited supply of energy. Physical play is one of the best ways to burn off some of that energy, but it has loads of other benefits too. Building self-confidence, gaining a sense of achievement, and it can even contribute to brain growth and attention span. Of course, just like Little Unicorn, a bit of running around and physical play can also help your little one get a good night's sleep too. For more ideas and inspiration for playtime, download the Make Time to Play app. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and tune in the same time next week. Bye.